Good evening and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Noleen Abel-Ameh with the news. We begin the news with the SDG. Sustainable Development Goals was adopted by the United Nations in September 2015 as a holistic approach towards the implementation of socio-economic policies to end all forms of poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for everyone by 2030. Now, in its sixth year, how prepared is Nigeria in implementing the SDGs amid COVID-19? Chidi Onya reports.
Guided by the principle of leaving no one behind, the Sustainable Development Goals consist of 17 thought-provoking goals formulated to replace the Millennium Development Goals. Interestingly, Nigeria was among the 193 United Nations member countries that signed to its implementation in 2015. Now in its fifth year, the drive towards reviewing the perceived bottlenecks that could hinder the achievement of the set goals is of top priority more than ever. Analysts believe that the prospects of Nigeria attaining the objectives outlined in the SDGs is bleak and need to be addressed urgently.
Let's look at the issue of the SDGs. Poverty, have we addressed it? Have we addressed the issue of shelter for all? Have we been able to address the issue of social injustice? All these things are just there.
Do we have a well-articulated policy to tackle the items in the SDG? If we have the well-articulated policies, how do we go about implementing them?
While the pandemic of COVID-19 may have slowed down the process of the SDGs, the call for key actors to tinker on ways for the nation to achieve meaningful development before its 2030 expiration date resonates.
It's an eye-opener to those in the health sector that they are falling way behind the target and we need to step up.
As the target date for the achievement of the SDGs draws closer, it is becoming clear that businesses, organizations, and private bodies have a key role to play in generating and implementing solutions that will hasten the process of achieving them. In Port Harcourt, Chidi Onya, NTA News.
Thanks, Chidibere. Now to judiciary. Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State has commenced his defense in the case of alleged forgery of certificate instituted against him by the All Progressives Congress APC at the Federal High Court, Abuja. Correspondent Austin Aibe reports that the defense counsel, Ken Mozai, opening his defense in the case, tendered the primary school certificate of the governor obtained in 1971. Secondary school and higher school certificates issued by West African Examination Council (WAEC) in 1973 and 1976 respectively, as well as the degree certificate from University of Ibadan and master's degree from Bayes University. Other documents, including Form EC9, were equally tendered and admitted in evidence. Counsel to the APC, Akin Olujimi, objected only to the degree certificate from University of Ibadan and the primary school certificate, but said would argue on that in his written address. The first witness, who is the chairman of Edo Law Reform Commission, giving evidence, told the court that the absence of the signature of the Vice Chancellor of University of Ibadan and date of issuance on the photocopy of the degree certificate attached to Form EC9 submitted by the governor was an error from photocopier, as he personally went to make the photocopy. The current efforts of the federal government in tackling security challenges across crisis zones in the country is fast yielding desired results and gradually restoring confidence in the people. Citizens' Action for Good Governance is taking stock of the progress recorded in the past years and fostering values that will engender greater support to the security agencies in winning the war against insecurity. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports.
Nigeria's history in the year 2020 will be incomplete without the mention of chain of events that threw part of the country into state of restlessness. The assessment, therefore, is not unconnected with the reason behind the effort that stabilizes a country and to advocate continued support to Nigerians' gallant troops in the front line.
This is the best time for Nigerians of good intentions, especially among the downtrodden, to rally around and muster greater support for all our gallant security forces in their determined effort to subdue and eliminate crime and criminalities.
Citizens' Action for Good Governance urged religious leaders to desist from making uncharitable and inflammatory statements that will undermine the unity and security of the country.
Rather than encourage Nigerians to be good citizens who are law-abiding, calling Nigeria a failed state is as good as saying the religious leaders have totally failed in their responsibilities to groom their followers to be good citizens. This government has risen on several occasions to the challenges, especially in its handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. This same government just recorded less than 6% dip in the gross domestic product in 2020, whereas several advanced countries had their GDP declined by double digits.
The organization calls for citizens' cooperation and dedication to peace-building process, especially in northeast and northwest regions of the country. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
Hingino is standing by from Lagos Center for update on sports, making the rounds there. Hingino, Happy New Year to you.
Same to you, Noleen. Talking health here. In the absence of a cure for COVID-19, experts say the vaccine is the most important option for prevention. This report takes a look at receptiveness of Nigerians towards the COVID-19 vaccine as the nation awaits its allocation. In 2019, when COVID-19 broke out in Wuhan, China, the world did not predict that it was going to be a protracted global challenge that will bring the planet to its knees. As the virus violently dug its claws on nations, threatening human existence and economies, scientists were busy in laboratories seeking solutions. Their labor produced the vaccines currently in circulation in some Western countries. This breakthrough, however, did not come without controversies, most of which border on the viability of the COVID-19 vaccine.
I don't really believe that it's really a vaccine that can prevent the COVID-19.
Once I'm sure that it's genuine and it's from right source, why not? I can take it.
Although the approved vaccines are being applied, medical experts say researches are ongoing.
My institution, as we have said before in other fora, involved in experimental trial of our own local vaccine using the Nigerian strains.
There should also be a check on it as to regarding its safety, effectiveness, and the quality.
There have been claims by many about the side effects of the vaccine. Experts say when the vaccine gets to Nigeria, its safety and efficacy will be ascertained before it is administered to citizens. Now to infrastructure. There are indications that the repair works on the third mainland bridge will be completed ahead of schedule. Dr. Noguemi reports that this is as a result of increased pace of work by the contractors, as 9 out of the 12 identified expansion joints have been replaced.
Daily, the Third Mainland Bridge makes its relevance known, but the number of vehicles that ply the route to and fro. Expectedly, the news of any closure or impending closure by government sends a shock wave of anxiety to Lagos residents. And for months now, since the bridge has been under repair, especially under the second phase of work, motorists have lamented the disappearance of diversionary signs and lack of traffic management personnel.
Contractor is spending a lot of money in replacing the traffic signs. As we are talking, we move here in November. More than 4 times the contractor has replaced the diversion signs, and they keep on removing the diversion signs. So what they are using it for is what we don't know. We are only appealing to them that nobody should go there and remove it. It's for us to give information to people that are using the road, and also to prevent accidents.
It was observed, however, that there were increased number of traffic personnel along the corridors of the alternative routes like Kostain, Ido, and Ebutemeta. In Lagos, Dotun Ugunyemi, NTA News.
We now take a break. Nationwide continues shortly.
Year begins. We here at NTA cannot help but look back on a challenging year that has been filled with many lessons. The most important of all being a renewed gratitude for the continued support of our sponsors, our clients, government at all levels, corporate bodies, advertisers, religious bodies, civil society groups, political parties, businesses and manufacturers, and you, the viewers. As we cross the finish line together, this celebration of new beginnings would simply be incomplete without you there, and we look forward to sharing the coming year with you. Here's to an excellent year ahead.
Una don hear say dem dey rape about 35% of dem girl pikin, and even dem women sef. Some of dem dey even die in the process. Emotional trauma nko, e dey make some of dem be like say dem no dey this world again, dem don go, but dem still dey live like ghosts. Some of dem, shame don kuku make dem go kill theirself. E no good o. This no be our culture. E no fit be the African way. Why we can't allow this kind yeye thing join body with us so that e loud well. If you know they fear law wey man put, you know they fear Baba God there. You sef, you wey dey cover mouth when you see mini wana dey happen. You know why here when the Oyibo talk say problem wey they bring come out, they dey solve am sharply. Remember, person wey fit rape, e fit to kill person o. E fit be you, e fit be your pikin, e fit be person dem wey you love well. So make we learn dey carry women dem like diamond wey we be. No gree for rape o.
Edition of TV Guide is out with special focus on the game changer, His Excellency Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State. Broadcasting in a digital economy, Maxwell Logo gives an insight. This edition also features Nancy Naji of AIT, a name synonymous with business. Meet the NCDC boss, Dr. Chikwe Ihekweazu. TV Guide, your indispensable companion, also x-rays the relevance of social media in the modern society. Meet some TV professionals who have impacted their spaces and other inspiring stories in sports, entertainment, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV Channel 251, GoTV Channel 91, Freeview UK Channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk, app for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Thank you for rejoining us on Nationwide in Abuja. The extended special public works designed to empower 1,000 unemployed vulnerable persons in 774 councils of the Federation has been flagged off in Abuja. Correspondent Abel-Ameh reports that the Minister of State, Labour and Employment, Festus Keyamo, who flagged off the 3-month program coordinated by the National Directorate of Employment, urged beneficiaries to bear in mind the need to become self-reliant after the program.
A joyful Sada too, a widow and mother of 5 children from Abuja Municipal Area Council of the FCT, has already figured out how to utilize the starter pack provided to her by government to support people like her under Extended Special Public Works. She is among the 1,000 beneficiaries in the 6 councils of the FCT.
As you can see, look at many farming something here. With farm, I'm able to get many things out of here. Not until I say this, but all this will be using at the farm.
I can buy more, maybe if I was given biro, at the end of the day, I can buy more of the biros, to be hiring it out, and working for my community.
The program is for the maintenance of public infrastructure. Every local government is to identify any preferred project of their choice.
We have, for instance, requests by certain local governments to say, look, they are going to provide cups of paints for us, but we engage the 1,000 persons to paint their primary schools. Amongst the 1,000 persons, they are not just itinerant workers who are unskilled. We may have amongst them carpenters and the like.
For us at the NTA, we are confident that the proper implementation of this program will contribute significantly to the upliftment and provision of succor to unemployed Nigerians.
Apart from the transparent and proper documentation of all participants already captured by designated banks with supervisors appointed in all electoral wards of the country, the concern raised is the exit strategy of the program.
So many proposals we have on our table as for the exit program. Many of them from the private sector too. Some private sector participants, they want to come and recruit some of these 1,000 persons per local government for some other purposes.
The Extended Special Public Works start from January the 5th and will last to 4th day of April 2021. Abel-Ameh, NTA News.
Nigeria is not a failed state and cannot be a failing state. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed said this at a media briefing in Lagos. Anthony Folson has the details.
Failing or failed state.
The minister said a handful of jaundiced analysts have sustained a negative wish for the nation by spewing fake news and hate speech to promote hatred among the citizens, as well as demarketing the country abroad.
It is all a ruse aimed at depicting Nigeria as being in a constant state of anarchy, just so they can achieve their nefarious objectives. If Nigeria was not a failing state, when a large slice of its territory, equivalent to the size of Belgium, was under the occupation of Boko Haram, which collected taxes, installed and deposed emirs, is it now that no territory is under the terrorists that Nigeria will be a failing state?
To organizations promoting the present administration in bad light in the international arena, Lai Mohammed warned that Nigeria will not cede its sovereignty.
Let me say straight away that Nigeria is fending off attacks on many fronts, not just from terrorists and bandits, but also from some human rights organizations and the International Criminal Court, ICC. We seem to have colluded to compound the challenges facing the country in the area of security. While our security agencies continue to battle these bandits and terrorists, the ICC and some international human rights organizations, especially the Amnesty International, have constituted themselves to another fighting force against Nigeria, constantly harassing our security forces and threatening them with investigation and possible prosecution over alleged crimes against humanity and war crimes.
The minister, whose media briefing chronicled the giant strides of the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration, said it is disheartening that citizens whose duty it is to protect the integrity of the country have formed a colony of antagonists poised to pull down Nigeria.
Unfortunately, a section of the local media has been parroting these organizations without weighing the impact of their constant threats on the security of the nation.
However, the minister assured that even though Nigeria has slipped into recession, mechanisms to pull it out is on the fast track. Giving account of the security situation in the country, the minister conceded that there are challenges, but Nigeria is better off under President Muhammadu Buhari. In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The National Gallery of Art is strategizing on ways to generate revenue rather than just being service-oriented. At the gallery's stakeholders meeting in Abuja, the keynote speaker, Emmanuel Wesley, a professor of sculpture, culture and tourism development, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, called for the repeal and reenactment of the National Gallery of Art Establishment Act.
Expand the revenue base of the NTA by members of the National Assembly should be enacted without delay. We should try and carry all stakeholders along.
Director General, National Gallery of Art, Ebetin Ivara, and key players in the industry noted that the gallery has not been able to maximize its potential due to lack of edifice to house its peculiar works.
Talk of a gallery without a gallery space, but that has been the story of National Gallery of Arts for these years past, which explain why a lot that has been done but are not noticed. It is indeed a sad story and one that will continue for the foreseeable future if we do not do something fast to change the narrative.
Indeed, everything comes back to the fact that an edifice is needed now for each organization to meaningfully contribute its quota to Nigeria's commonwealth.
The National Gallery of Art Stakeholders Meeting is an annual event. Now, in line with the requirements of the automated payment system, the Imo State government has confirmed that salaries of all verified civil servants and pensioners have been paid up to date. The Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Declan Emelumba, gave the clarification in Owerri while briefing journalists on behalf of Governor Hope Uzodinma. Bright Ebuchuno reports.
In the past few months, speculations on issues surrounding non-payment of workers' salaries and pensions in Imo State have dominated the media space. To this end, the state government has taken several steps to clarify underlying issues, including the publication of names of validated workers and pensioners who have so far been paid. Addressing journalists on behalf of the Imo State Governor, the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Declan Emelumba, says the nominal payroll shows that over 40,000 verified workers have so far been paid up to date. He further adds that 20,000 verified pensioners have also been paid.
The total number of workers in Imo State, combined, everybody, is about 41,000. Out of these 41,000, 40,000 have been thoroughly verified and certified to be true workers of the government, and they have been paid up to date. Out of this number, about 600 or thereabouts have issues, very serious issues, either because of BVN conflict, mismatch of payment details, and conflict of BVM or other payment details that are lacking.
On cases of those who are yet to get paid, Emelumba urges them to present themselves for verification to ascertain their status as genuine employees or pensioners with the Imo State government in Owerri. Bright Ewoju, NTA News.
From Owerri, we bring you back to Abuja, where practitioners in the legal profession in Nigeria have been told to brace up more to the challenges of improving justice dispensation in the country. Retired Chief Judge of the FCT High Court, Justice Ishaq Bello, made the call at a special valedictory court session to mark his retirement from the judiciary. Femi Okewu has the story.
Series of events lined up to celebrate Justice Ishaq Bello as a judicial officer and Chief Judge of the FCT were cancelled due to the COVID-19 situation in the country. But the formal exit through the valedictory court session went on, with professional colleagues, including the Chief Justice of Nigeria and traditional representatives, assembling to show respect to the positive changes which had been instituted in the last 5.5 years of Justice Ishaq Bello being the Chief Judge of the FCT High Court. It was therefore a forum to call on the legal profession in Nigeria to re-engineer justice dispensation in the country in view of the experiences of the past.
No one is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. I came to appreciate these early as various people have been part of the story of my life.
Justice Ishaq Bello's tenure as Chief Judge of the FCT, even though just for about 5 years, some say would mark the end of an era in the court. They say the activities that impacted on the improvement of dispensation of justice, not just in the FCT but in Nigeria generally, were so many. From the FCT High Court, Femi Okewu, NTA News.
Many thanks, Femi. Now let's join Frama from Jos Network Center for more reports from that zone. Hi, Frama.
Hello, Noleen. Thank you and welcome to Jos. Schools in Plateau State are to reopen from January 18th, 2021 with observance of COVID-19 safety protocols. This is part of decisions reached at the State Executive Council meeting presided over by Governor Simon Lalo. Prisla Grumnan reports.
The Executive Council meeting deliberated on a number of important issues aimed at driving the state's socio-economic growth. The Council noted the upsurge in the spread of COVID-19 in the state and urged citizens to intensify obedience to the safety protocols. The Council also frowned at the continuous barricade of the State Secretariat by the local government workers.
We are going to criminalize denial of the existence of COVID-19 in the state. So we want to put pastors, imams, community leaders on notice that whoever comes out to spread that false narrative that there is no COVID-19 in existence will be committing a criminal offense and will be prosecuted to serve as a deterrent to others.
The 4 road projects earlier revoked have been re-awarded, just as the council resolved to set up sub-councils to deliberate on memos before they are taken to EXCO for further deliberations.
The council among bypass and Shandam Township. Amongst these other 3 projects, the Kwande Bimbe Mato is equally being considered.
The meeting also approved a proposal for an executive bill to set up Plateau State Promotion Investment Agency to further promote business activities in the state. From the Government House in Little Rayfield, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
It is a tradition that most people set targets for themselves at the beginning of every year. Correspondents spoke to some residents on their targets for the year 2020.
Given the evaluation of the year 2020,
Martha Haruna and Henry Palm are among many who said they were excited at the beginning of the year, hoping to achieve a lot, but unfortunately, their dreams and aspirations were cut short as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. This, they say, brought setback to the economy, education, and many other sectors, and to a great extent affected them.
I couldn't meet up with my targets, especially due to the COVID-19. If you remember the period of lockdown that we experienced, during that time, I think the company where I worked, they always pay us half salary.
You can see the shoes, the clothes are still hanging on. So this particular year, things are really difficult. We didn't work as we expected. We pray for the new year, things will get at least better than this year.
Our expectations were cut off because of the pandemic. I personally, I can't say, okay, I have many expectations, but it was limited because of the pandemic.
2020, I was planning to go to school. Due to the pandemic, it was not successful.
They expressed optimism that 2021 will be better than the previous year. That's all our contribution from Jos. Nationwide continues with Noleen in Abuja.
Very well, Frama. The current state of healthcare globally has no doubt necessitated a pragmatic approach to ensure effective healthcare delivery in the country. These were the views of some Nigerians in Port Harcourt who assessed the performance of the sector and the way forward. Ijoma Ugoke reports.
Challenges of COVID-19 has unraveled some of the pre-existing constraints and weaknesses in healthcare service, despite government's efforts in the implementation of health policies. As patients experience difficulty in accessing Medicare, especially in the face of pandemic, the need to improve health facilities, medical supplies and personnel, as well as funding, have been stressed.
The health sector last year, that is 2020, the government tried, but they did not. There are some areas and some lapses that they did not cover. Like in the area of the personnel, I think the facilities are so poor.
Personnel in public health sectors are not enough, even in private health sectors are not enough. The equipment are not there. We all know what we suffered when the pandemic broke, judging from availability of PPEs. Common basic things to work with in the hospitals are hardly there. So this is why both state and federal governments need to put in a lot of work, and they need to put in a lot of funding into the health sector.
We're even doubling our effort to make sure no stone is left unturned from our primary to secondary and tertiary facilities and encourage them. We thank God we have the political will because the governor is there supporting the health sector.
The quest to achieving a universal health coverage and closing all gaps in the health sector calls for the involvement of the private sector. As government strives to improve the health system in the country, there are expectations that Nigerians adhere strictly to government guidelines to reduce the rising figures of coronavirus and other diseases. In Port Harcourt, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
Let's bring you an update on COVID-19 cases in Nigeria. Lagos has 654, FCT 200, Plateau 60, Kaduna 54, Kano 40, Rivers 30, Edo 28, Nasarawa 25, Kebbi 19, Bauchi 18, Oyo 13, Akwa Ibom 12, Bayelsa 11, Ogun 11, Delta 9, Abia 8, Benue 5, Imo 3, Borno 2, Sokoto 1, Oshun 1. 1,204 new cases have been recorded, 91,351 confirmed, 75,699 discharged, while 1,318 deaths have been recorded so far. And still talking health experts say ramping up risk communication on the severity of the new strain of COVID-19 pandemic will help battle further spread of the virus. This was while discussing COVID-19 and protocols enforcement on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria. Ekemini Williams report.
Lady Atu is the Secretary to Plateau State Government and Coordinator, Task Force on COVID-19. He says Plateau State has recorded an increased mortality rate from the second wave of COVID-19, from 32 deaths in 9 months between March and November to 12 deaths within a short space of about 1 month between December and January 2021.
As I speak with you, quite a number of people are on ventilators now. And that speaks of the calamity that awaits us. Now, what the chairman of the task force, who is the governor himself, has directed that during this committee engagement with the communities, that we are going to involve those survivors of the COVID-19 so that they can tell their story. We want them to tell the story so that people will get to know the severity of what they went through.
The Plateau State experience is one of many across the country. However, this has not made much impact on over 75% of Nigerians who still believe COVID-19 is a hoax.
People want to go back to normal. We're all social animals. We want to sit down and chat and go to parties, etc. And that's the opportunity that the virus is having. It's just been waiting. And it got the perfect opportunity. It had a good Christmas and a very good a New Year, and it's now back with a vengeance.
For this reason, these experts say other risk communication strategies must be worked out, as well as stiffer punishments for flouting safety protocols.
There's a saying that only fools learn from their own experience. We shouldn't allow that to happen to us.
It is because we need to be a little bit more tough. Yes, we must go on advocacy. Yes, we must communicate. Yes, we must discuss. Yes, we must engage them. But we must be a little bit tough and tell those persons that you can't obey law outside and you come here and you break the law.
Own your own action. Now, enforcement and trying to bear down with a lot of force sometimes may not achieve what you actually want. And so he has taken it upon himself and through the task force to be very persuasive, radio jingles, television adverts.
Dr. Sani Aliyu, PTF National Coordinator, says until COVID-19 vaccines are made available, non-pharmaceutical measures such as wearing a mask and avoiding large gatherings are the best bets to curb the spread of the virus. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
The new year begins. We here at NTA cannot help but look back on a challenging year that has been filled with many lessons. The most important of all being a renewed gratitude for the continued support of our sponsors, our clients, government at all levels, corporate bodies, advertisers, religious bodies, civil society groups, political parties, businesses and manufacturers, and you, the viewers. As we cross the finish line together, this celebration of new beginnings would simply be incomplete without you there. And we look forward to sharing the coming year with you. Here's to an excellent year ahead.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
Life can be very eventful. We curiously expect things to happen, even when we don't know what. Our human nature makes us like and repost lots of information. Some are unverified, inciting anger and hate. Sometimes innocently, other times the urge to break it first. This, in most cases, has caused destruction in many nations.
NTA News 24. A 24-hour news station brings to you news and happenings 7 days a week.
News at 10 a.m., news update at 11 and 1 p.m.
News desk at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and late evening news at 11 p.m.
Follow us on any of our platforms and keep abreast of events and current affairs within and outside our shores.
We are on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46,
StarTimes channel 101 and Free TV channel 703. Join us.
Wide security. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps NSCDC Kwara Command has arrested and paraded 10 persons for robbery, vandalism and other criminal offenses with a commitment to make the state inhabitable for criminals. Kehinde Omolosho reports that the accused were paraded at the command's headquarters in Ilorin.
The culprits, who are in their 20s, were arrested at various points in Ilorin following a tip-off from members of the public. While one of them was caught vandalizing a transformer at Tanke Akata area, some were in possession of hard drugs and dangerous weapons, and others around a hotel along Fate Road. The success the NSCDC commandant attributed to cooperation from members of the public, which the commandant is committed to sustain.
We are ready to cooperate with the various community, the hunters, the farmers, and every other person to assist us to make sure that we get rid of criminals in Kwara. And at every point in time, we are ready to hold a peace meeting with willing parties, and the rest assured, like I said, during the festive period, that their life and property is safe.
The commandant also sent a stern warning to would-be criminals to stay clear of the state.
It's not business as usual. Criminals doesn't have a hiding place in Kwara, and we are ready to ensure that we either arrest them and prosecute them, or they should leave Kwara, which is a state of harmony.
Some of the culprits are to be handed over to concerned security agencies, while others will be charged to court. Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
The Akwa Ibom State Police Commissioner Abel-Ameh Andrew has ordered for an immediate investigation into a petition by Mrs. Deborah Achibong, aged 41, mother of Don Davis Iniobong Achibong, a student of Deeper Life High School, Idoro Road, Uyo, alleging that her son, Master Don Davis Iniobong, was inhumanly treated, sexually molested, and suffered starvation against Mrs. Ndidi Solomon and 3 others. Statement by Akwa Ibom Police Public Relations Odiko McDon indicates that the CP, while enjoining all parties involved to exercise restraint pending the outcome of the investigation, has assured the good people of Akwa Ibom State that no stone will be left unturned in unraveling the truth, and that the outcome of the investigation will soon be made known. Salamatu is our guide from Kaduna's Network Center. Hello, Salamatu.
Hello, Noleen, and Happy New Year. Welcome to Kaduna. Judicial panel of inquiry set up by the Kaduna State government to investigate alleged police brutality has begun sitting in Kaduna. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachkun reports that more than 40 petitions were filed before the panel against the Nigerian police.
Since its inauguration about 2 months ago, the Kaduna State Judicial Panel, headed by retired Justice Yom David Shiri, has received 46 petitions on allegations of various forms of brutality, ranging from brutal arrests, alleged prejudicial killing, and detention.
We amended our affidavit with the relief suit and the facts of the matter. So today we are happy the panel heard us and granted our application.
Kaduna State Police Command is there. IG is there. Commissioner of Police is there. Our prayer is that this honorable committee, we need justice with our petition.
At this sitting, 5 petitions were presented, and after hearing, Justice Yom advised the petitioners to seek assistance of lawyers who will stand for them, while respondent on behalf of the Nigeria Police, DSP Martins Danjuma, prayed the panel to grant the force ample time to ascertain the true identities of the police officers who were accused in the petitions for proper hearing.
There is problem in serving the respondents, and I think it's just justice to allow them to come and defend themselves. That's why we took this a week or 2 weeks adjournment. But certainly when we resume, it's going to be real work.
Hearing and mention of the cases have been adjourned to the 12th and 19th of January, respectively, where the petitioners and others will be heard. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachkun, NTA News.
And away from that, to health report, Kaduna State government has commenced COVID-19 test for its civil servants in the fight against the second wave of the pandemic. Haruna Muhammad reports that this is in addition to other measures already taken by the state government to contain the spread of the virus. The report.
Kaduna's record of a total of more than 5,000 positive cases of COVID-19 and its high infection rate in the second wave of the pandemic has placed the state on danger list. Besides the enforcement of COVID-19 safety protocols, the screening of the state civil servants for COVID-19 with collection of samples is to further curb the spread, especially community transmission of the novel virus.
As you know, civil servants are also members of the community. They are also members of the state. But they are the ones that we can easily get to. And His Excellency's directive is a part of the expansion of testing that we're doing.
To know my status on this current situation, it's a welcome idea.
If you look at what is happening in other countries, we that our state government is doing this to us, we should thank the state government.
There is need for members of the society to cooperate so that they will get the desired result. By this, we are going to reduce a lot of problems.
Already, the state government has directed civil servants from grade level 12 and below to work from home as part of the COVID-19 preventive measures. In Kaduna, Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
And health reports conclude our package from Kaduna back to Noleen in Abuja.
Thank you so much, Salamatu. The developmental strides in infrastructure and good economic policies of President Muhammadu Buhari need to be supported and encouraged by all Nigerians in the year 2021. Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Senator George Akume, who stated this while assessing efforts of the present administration in the year 2020, says the country will continue to experience positive impacts.
Since its inception in 2015 and his subsequent re-election in 2019, the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration has been confronted with several challenges which the President has continued to tackle headlong. Worthy of note is the insecurity in the Northeast, which has been decimated. Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, in his assessment, noted that the president has recorded enormous achievements cutting across several sectors of the economy despite the effect of the global COVID-19 pandemic.
By the time he came in, already there was a recession. Due to hard work, rugged planning and implementation of his own vision, Nigeria was able to pull out of that recession. So, his contributions are enormous.
He is optimistic that the country will become much better by the end of the President Buhari's second term in office in 2023 if Nigerians continue to give him the desired support. In Makurdi, Elias, Etiaf, NTA News.
Self-employment has been identified as the solution to the most talked about unemployment bedeviling the country, especially among youth and women who are the vulnerable group in the society. It is against this backdrop that Senator representing Adamawa Central at the Red Chamber, Aisha Tudahiru Ahmed Binani, is collaborating with National Directorate of Employment, NTA, to train youth and women in about 368 different skills to make them productive members of the society. Biliana Abubakar takes up from there.
Adamawa Central, a metropolitan senatorial zone with a large population, comprises of 7 local government areas of the state. Insecurity and criminality kept increasing by day in the senatorial zone because of unemployment, especially among the youths, which defied all attempts to be reduced to BRS minimum. Having realized the enormity of this ugly situation on the future leaders, the senator representing the zone, Aisha Ahmed Dahiru Binani, in collaboration with National Directorate of Employment, NDE, has trained 1,668 youths and women in various skills with the view to making them self-employed. To mark their graduation, the trainees were each presented with startup kits of particular trade they have already been trained upon.
I'll open a tailoring shop and start sewing. I will sew people's clothes and they will pay me. Well, by the grace of God, as long as I establish myself, I will train so many people.
And by the special grace of God, I'll open shop. I will start my business with it.
Senator Aisha Binani said it is her desire to fight insecurity and criminality in a softer way. She urged the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the facilities, not only for their personal benefit, but the generality of the society.
This will go a long way in assisting our people to not only be self-reliant, but use it to pay school fees, hospital bills, in addition to daily sustenance.
Various speakers on the occasion lauded the effort of the lawmaker and urged others to emulate. In Yola, Bilkisu Abubakar.
The West African Youth Organization is seeking support and partnership with the Nigerian Television Authority for effective coverage of its annual summit coming in the second quarter of this year. Delegates from the organization paid a courtesy visit under management of the NTA. Veronica Emmanuel has details.
Having scored the NTA high on its reputable social services to government and people of Nigeria and beyond, the group is seeking collaboration with the NTA to promote issues concerning the welfare of the youth in the African region. The group pointed out that African youths are interested in governance but need support and encouragement of institutions such as the NTA.
The theme of the summit is going to be youth, the future leaders. The future is now, prospect and challenges. We will propose President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, to present the opening speech and be decorated with 2021 West African Youth Congress Man of Integrity.
The Deputy Director News, NTA, received the youth delegates on behalf of the Director General of NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed.
We know the role the youths play in nation building
And as we all say, the youth of a country determine the future of that nation. We've been able to create a lot of programs, that, give the platform for the youth to express, their potentials. And we always continue to do that. That is why we are here.
The solicited partnership is expected to promote youth initiatives for development in the African continent. In Abuja, Veronica Emmanuel, NTA News.
And now to sports news. Sporting federations in Nigeria promise better